I know you guys are going to have a hard time believing this, but there are a lot of journalists and SJWs out there right now who are very, very upset. I know, crazy, hard to believe, but here we are once again. And this time they are upset with a video game, and particularly the developers, because apparently this game, it's a Russian game, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is doesn't have any playable female characters in it. And so because of that, they are absolutely losing their minds. So let's go ahead and take a look at this and see what this whole thing is about here. So, women can't handle stress of war. Western journos open fire on hit Russian shooter devs for refusing to include female fighters. And there's a lot going on with the story right now, so let's just go ahead and take our time to unpack this. Gritty survival shooter Escape from Tarkov is under attack from entitled journalists who think every game needs to cater to their political and world views. The sin this time is that the title doesn't feature playable women, which is a very, very big sin. That is definitely one of the 7 deadly sins when it comes to the SJWs. After experiencing a massive boost in popularity these past couple of weeks, thanks in large part to Twitch, the Russian developed first-person shooter finds itself warding off attacks after an interview from 2016 resurfaced. In it, programmer Pavel Dyatlov was asked why there aren't female characters in the game, and he replied by saying women are not allowed to be in war because they can't handle that amount of stress. There's only a place for hardened men in this place. Now, of course, you know, this English isn't really their first language or anything, and I think that what he means to say by this is that that like females that women aren't really allowed in like the Russian military, I think is kind of what he's getting at here, I think. But whenever this game comes up, it's always a good idea to let people know that the devs are not going to put female characters in the game because they think women are not allowed to be in war, since women can't handle the stress of real combat. I think what he means by that is that like women aren't allowed in like the Russian military, I think is what he's trying to get at there. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue with the article and see what we have to say, what they have to say here. Not content with his answer and possibly needing outrage clicks to meet this week's quota, sounds about right, journalists decided to spread the musty answer that already produced the most minor of controversies at the time and start a fresh, much bigger dog pile of hate and abuse at developer Battlestate Games' doorstep. A quick browse of social media reveals the team is being inundated with accusations of sexism and the like. Of course they are. Of course. Though not being widely discussed by the bringers of rage is that Battlestate COO Nikita Boyanov denounces the interview, and the person who gave it has been reprimanded. It was given by someone who isn't high up in the chain of command, and being that English isn't their first language, something may have been lost in translation, which is kind of what I was wondering in the first place. From the looks of it, they weren't in a position to speak for the entire team. In a response on Reddit, the COO expressed that he, in fact, respects women in wars. And just to finally clear the question about women in Escape from Tarkov, first, there are women in Escape from Tarkov already. Some future key storyline quests will have women as main characters, but there will be no playable female characters because of game lore and, more importantly, the huge amount of work needed for animations, gear fitting, etc. So the true reasoning for why female characters aren't playable is twofold. For one, as the team is relatively small and working with a smaller budget than a typical AA video game, it simply costs too much time and money to create new animations, gear fittings, and such, which is understandable, and I don't care how you slice it. If that is literally the reason why they don't have female characters in their game, fine, I don't care. That seems like a reasonable explanation for why there aren't any female characters, especially for a company that is making a video game that isn't, you know, backed by, you know, oodles amount of money and stuff. The second reason is due to lore. Escape from Tarkov is a work of fiction, but it involved units based on real-life counterparts from elite Russian and international fighting forces, which don't currently feature women in the front line. Okay, like I said, that sounds about right. So that makes sense to me. You know, this totally makes sense for why they wouldn't have female characters in the game. But of course, the SJWs and the journalists out there, they don't want to actually look at reality. They would rather live in some sort of fantasized version of reality where women can do literally anything that men can do at any time, no matter what kind of situation it is. And even if they hadn't been based on anything, the makers made a decision that CGI women wouldn't shoot each other in the head within their game world. It's just that simple. And, you know, hey, if that's how they want to make their game, I don't have a problem with that at all, you know? However, to the perpetually disturbed, their reasons aren't good enough, and the studio is facing even more criticism and vitriol from game journalists and industry insiders. A sad churn of events, as it is a well-crafted game created by a passionate and hardworking team of developers, although the situation reveals much of modern game journalism for what it really is. But there will be no playable female characters because of game lore, and more importantly, the huge amount of work needed with animations, gear fitting, etc.
These excuses don't work on anyone anymore. It's effing 2020. Bleh.
The current game writing climate is composed of individuals who feel the need to trash any game that doesn't cater to them. Yep. Over the past few years, we have seen this time and time again. Laughably Radical Heights, the extremely early access and failed title from the now defunct Boss Key Productions, also found itself in hot water when it didn't have a playable female. Never mind, the game wasn't even close to finish, and they had such a had such a character in development, making all the anger ironic considering just how often such journalists call the audience they write for entitled. Huh. Sounds, yeah, that is actually a really good point. Wow, that never even crossed my mind, but that is actually like 100% true. But let me ask, what is more entitled than demanding dev teams have exactly what one seeks at a specific time? So, you know, there's obviously Kotaku going after Escape from Tarkov because that pretty much sums them up in a nutshell. The fact of the matter is that not every game needs a female character, and not every studio needs to explain their reasoning for excluding various genders or other identities. In the realm of creativity and art, everything should be allowed to exist. And I definitely agree with that. 70% of games allow you to play as a female if you count those with gender choices. Such games also have character creators. How is this not representative enough? You can literally put yourself into most games. Go away, you rage-baiting pseudo-gamer, which, you know, this is a pretty good, I guess, statistic that balances with kind of the overall female demographic of who plays video games in the first place. So, the best aspect of gaming is that it has something for everyone. If every title was inclusive to all and checked every diversity box available, nothing would feel different and the medium would grow stagnant and die. There's nothing wrong with having games that feature only men or ones which feature just women or any combination in between. And I totally agree. You know, if there's a game that comes out that has, like, for the majority of the characters females, I'm not going to whine about it. Like, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a while since I played it, but I'm pretty sure that, what's it called? The, Apex Legends game, I think, had more female playable characters than male playable characters, but I didn't sit there and point that out and whine about it or anything. You know, it's just ridiculous to me. But anyway, with that being said, let me know in the comments below what you think about this whole thing. Of course, the SJWs and the journalists need to find something to be outraged about, and it looks like that they are turning to some tweets from someone who isn't even high up the development chain for a video game company from Russia that is trying to base its fictional game on real life situations and stuff like that, because of course that's how SJWs roll, and it's just absolutely just insane. These people are ridiculous. So with that being said, let me know in the comments below what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you all very soon in another video. Talk to you later. Bye.
Hey everyone, it's Jeremy from geeksandgamers.com, and if you're a fan of Geeks and Gamers, please go to our website, visit our merchandise store. We have t-shirts, hoodies, hats, beanies, tank tops, and in the very near future, we're going to have many more products for you to choose from. So thank you for the support. We appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.